This sucks. We had like a return to 2 days of winter. It's really friggin' cold this morning. Holy crap. I'm glad I'm only taking the wheel off because I don't want to spend a lot of time out here. I'm not sure if you guys noticed in the last video, but it's the same thing on the fronts as well. These rotors are done. So I am going to resolve this issue, but it's something that I'll talk about in a later video. But these rotors are done and the front ones aren't in much better shape. Now, as far as the damaged wheel goes, I did show you this before, but you can see right here it's been pretty good, but it hasn't been leaking air. It's been holding air ever since I've had it, and it's been really cold out here in the garage, not just today but previous weeks, like when I went on my trip to the Philippines and I came back, this wheel hadn't lost any air, so it holds air. It's just bent. So we're getting this to the place today that's going to fix that, so I don't have a wobble in my wheel anymore. This is about the only thing you can fit in the back of a two-door Bronco, is about one wheel. Not a lot of room in these things. Just one other thing real quick. I am trying to get to 2,000 subs for this year. I think it's entirely possible. So if you like Terminator Cobra stuff and just car stuff in general, there is a lot more of that coming throughout this year. So I would appreciate it if you hit the sub button down below. The vast majority of the people that watch the videos are not subscribed, so it would be great if you did. The button is down below. It's free to hit. Just, you know, do that. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Don't mind the sun glare. It's absolutely brutal this time of morning. Let me know what everyone thinks of the thrown-in GoPro footage. I'll probably, you know, try to incorporate that a little bit more in videos going forward, just for something a little bit different. Generally, I really hate GoPros, but I'm gonna try and use mine more, just, you know, just for variety and something different. So there's a few reasons why I'm even bothering to fix this wheel. The first thing is because it's really not that expensive. It's 125 bucks to repair the wheel. So it's a lot less than what I figured it would have been. And the other thing too is because it's an authentic Saleen wheel. If this was a knockoff wheel or something like that, I may be more inclined to maybe just buy a different set of wheels altogether, just for something, just to change the car up a little bit. But because these are authentic Saleen wheels and because they're the option 18 by 10, I feel as though I don't want to abandon this set of wheels. I really want to run these, and getting the wheels straightened out really isn't a big deal. It's, like I said, it's not that expensive. The wheel's completely fine after, so there's no reason really not to fix it. I did mention in the previous video too that there should be a driving video really soon. The day that I'm recording this is the day before I actually plan on driving it. I actually could have possibly driven it before now, but because of the wheel being screwed up, I didn't really want to. I actually had an appointment to bring the wheel in to get it rebalanced before I found out that it was bent. So I decided to, of course, get the wheel fixed first and then get it balanced. That, you know, makes sense. So I kind of backed things up a little bit for when I really could have driven it. And we just had a recent rainstorm here. It got really cold at the end of the rainstorm. It actually changed to snow. It didn't snow where I am, luckily, but I was afraid that because the temperatures dropped so much that they were going to salt the roads, but they didn't do that. So the roads are really good, and the day that I'm recording this on is a Thursday, and I plan on driving the day I'm recording this is a Friday, and I plan on driving it Saturday, Sunday. So there will be a driving video pretty soon, and basically, you know, I haven't been in a Terminator up here for you know, almost a year now, so it'll be good to do that again and give my initial thoughts and impressions on what it's like to be back in another Terminator again. Don't mind Apollo's panting. He always gets nervous riding. He always wants to go with me, but he actually hates being in the vehicle. I got him when he was only 6 months old, and he's like 11 now. And I had an accident like a long time ago with a Subaru that I had, and he was in the back. It kind of launched him into the back of my driver's seat, and ever since then he kind of has been apprehensive about riding the vehicles, but he always wants to go with me, especially once I done my work days and I'm on my days off. Whenever I leave the house, he just really wants to go with me all the time, and a lot of times I can't bring him depending on where I'm going or depending on the weather. Like if it's really hot during the summertime, I'm not going to leave him in the vehicle, but days like this, it's cold today, and I just decided to bring him with me. He really wanted to come, so I think he just really wants my breakfast sandwich, and I'm going to get at McDonald's though. But I have a little bit of a drive to where I'm dropping the wheel off. I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to record anything there. Probably not. I've never been to this particular place, but once I get the wheel back, before I throw it back in the Bronco, we'll take a look at it and see how the repair job looks, and then tomorrow, after it's all balanced and everything and I go out for a drive, hopefully there's no more shaking.
One eternity later.
Well, that took longer than expected. The website said typically 1 to 2 hours to straighten the wheel, but they were pretty tied up with a lot of stuff today. It took a lot longer. They apologized. The guy was really good about it, so no issues there at all. Really good place overall. They do a lot of powder coating too, so I'll definitely be back when I get some things powder coated on the Cobra. But he said too that the wheel came out really, really well, and he said it was actually bent pretty bad, and it took a lot of time on the straightening machine to get it out. And he said too that I noticed on the back, I'll show you guys the wheel when I get home. I'll pull it out of the Bronco and we'll take a look at it when I get back home in the garage, and it looks really good. But he said a lot of the times, and this is what I suspected, I looked at the wheel and I said, that's all there is for weight on? He said, yeah, it has like 2 wheel weights on it and the thing's balanced. And I showed him the area, and I'll show you guys too, a huge area where the stick-on weights were, and I said it looks like that was balanced to try to balance out the wheel being bent. And he said, yeah, a lot of times people will do that where the wheel will be balanced, but it may not make proper road contact. And the guy I bought it from said too that it didn't hook up very well. It was cold when I was down in Virginia when I went down there to look at the car, but I have a feeling that wheel just probably wasn't making that great a contact on the pavement anyway. So that should be resolved as far as that goes. And you know, the wheel came out great. I'm real happy with it as far as how it looks. You can't even barely tell it was even repaired. Not that it matters. It's on the back side. You never see it anyway. So I'm just going to go and pick up Apollo. I left him at a family member's house for a while I was running around doing a bunch of other stuff during the day today. And when I get back home, I'll get the wheel out and I'll show you guys the repair job on it and how well it came out. And like I said, it came out really good, so I'm happy with it. So here's the repaired wheel now. It looks pretty good. He said he didn't have to weld it. He said he didn't want to have to do that. I'm not sure what the process is for repairing wheels like this that are bent. but he said he gave the wheel a passing of a 9 out of a 10. He said a lot of the wheels that you get out of the box brand new are 9 out of a 10. So I would say this wheel is pretty much all set and ready to go back on and run. It took a weight there and a weight down there, so not a lot to balance this wheel out. You can see before, all this here, this is what was used to balance all the weights that were stuck on here to balance that wheel out before when it was bent. And now with it being straight, there's just 2 small ones on it. So a big difference overall. And the wheel still looks pretty good. It's a little bit dirty from moving it around today, but overall not bad. So get this back on the car and get the wheels torqued, get it back down on the ground. So that's pretty much it. The wheel is back on the car, all the wheels are torqued, and the wheel's fixed, so should be good to go. The only thing left to do is now to actually drive the car that I have it up here, and I'm actually doing that tomorrow, but for you guys that will be next week's video. But I thank you all very much for watching. If you made it to the end, make sure to hit the sub button down below or to hit the like button if you're already subbed. But most of all, everyone, thanks for watching.